Did you know that the muscles in a cat's face can create more than 100 different expressions? But is there a real smile among them? Today, we will dive into the amazing world of feline emotions and figure out whether our furry friends can truly smile or if it's just a figment of our imagination. Before we reveal all the secrets of cat facial expressions, write in the comments if you have ever noticed your cat seemingly smiling. In what situations does this happen? Your observations will help us better understand how common this phenomenon is and how cat owners perceive it. Meanwhile, make yourself comfortable. We are beginning our journey into the world of feline emotions. Understanding how cats express their emotions not only satisfies our curiosity, it is the key to a deeper connection with our pets. After all, the better we understand their body language, the happier and more harmonious our life together becomes. Let's start by understanding what a smile is from a biological perspective. In humans, a smile is the contraction of certain facial muscles, especially the zygomaticus major muscle, which raises the corners of the lips. This facial expression is universal across all cultures and is considered a sign of joy, pleasure, or friendliness. But here's what's interesting. Smiling, as we understand it, is predominantly a human trait. Even our closest relatives, chimpanzees, use a similar facial expression quite differently, as a sign of submission or fear. So what happens with cats? Can they smile like we do? The structure of a cat's face differs significantly from a human's. Cats have far fewer facial muscles, and they cannot form such a variety of expressions as we can. Additionally, they have a completely different jaw and lip shape. When a cat opens its mouth slightly and pulls back the corners of its lips, it might resemble a smile, but the mechanism and meaning of this expression are entirely different. What we sometimes interpret as a cat's smile, veterinarians and animal psychologists call a relaxed facial expression. This is a state when a cat feels comfortable and safe. Its muscles are relaxed, eyes may be half closed, and mouth slightly open. Such an expression indeed indicates that the cat is experiencing positive emotions, but it's not a smile in the human sense. Interesting fact, cats, unlike dogs, have not developed facial expressions as a way to communicate with humans. Dogs, over thousands of years of domestication, have learned to imitate human facial expressions to better interact with us. Cats' evolution took a different path. They communicate with us primarily through body postures, tail movements, and sounds. But this doesn't mean cats don't express joy. They just do it differently than we do. When a cat is happy, it can show this in many ways: purring, slow blinking, rubbing against you, raising its tail straight up, kneading with its paws, and much more. All these are manifestations of feline happiness, just expressed not through smiling, but through other communication channels. However, there is one facial expression in cats that really does resemble a smile. It's called the Flehmen response. When a cat lifts its upper lip, exposing its teeth and wrinkling its nose, it looks as if it's grinning. But in reality, this is a special reaction associated with the Jacobson's organ, an additional olfactory organ located on the palate. A cat uses the Flehmen response to better analyze scents, especially pheromones from other cats. This grimace can often be observed when a cat sniffs something interesting or unusual, and although it may outwardly resemble a smile or a smirk, this expression has a completely different meaning. It's simply a way to gather more information about a scent. What about the famous Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland? Its wide smile has become an iconic image, but in reality, cats don't smile like that. Interestingly, Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice, may have been inspired not by real cats, but by old tavern signs in Cheshire County, which featured grinning cats. Now let's talk about why we so often see smiles on our cats' faces. This phenomenon is called anthropomorphism, the tendency to attribute human traits and emotions to animals or inanimate objects. Our brain is literally programmed to look for faces and emotions everywhere. This helped our ancestors survive by quickly recognizing friends and enemies. When we look at a cat's face, our brain automatically tries to interpret its expression through the lens of human emotions. And if a cat looks relaxed and content, we perceive this as a smile. Even if from an anatomical point of view, it's a completely different expression. Interestingly, some cat breeds have facial features that make them appear more smiley to our eyes. For example, British short-hair cats with their round cheeks and often slightly upturned corners of the mouth look as if they're constantly smiling slightly. And Siamese cats with their elongated faces and almond-shaped eyes may seem more serious or even haughty. But if cats don't smile like humans, does that mean they don't experience joy? Of course not. Modern research shows that cats can experience a wide range of emotions, including joy, pleasure, attachment, fear, anxiety, and even jealousy. They just express these emotions differently than we do. For example, when a cat is happy and relaxed, it may half close its eyes and blink slowly. This gesture is so important in feline communication that it's even called a cat kiss. If your cat slow blinks while looking at you, try responding in kind. You're literally saying, "I love you" in cat language. Another sign of feline happiness is, of course, purring. Although cats can purr in stressful situations too, for example, when injured, to self-soothe, in most cases, purring indicates that a cat is content and relaxed. This is their way of expressing pleasure, and it's much more effective than a smile. The position of the ears, tail, and body also says a lot about a cat's mood. A tail held vertically with a slight curve at the end is the feline equivalent of a joyful smile. A cat assumes this posture when greeting a beloved human or another cat with whom it has a friendly relationship. Did you know that cats can smile with their eyes? When a cat is happy and relaxed, its eyes become more rounded. Pupils take on a medium size, neither too dilated nor too constricted, and the gaze becomes soft. This eye expression is often accompanied by other signs of pleasure, such as purring or kneading. Speaking of kneading, this amusing gesture when a cat alternately presses its paws on a soft surface, often your knees or stomach, has its roots in the cat's childhood. Kittens make such movements, massaging their mother's breast to stimulate milk production. Adult cats retain this habit and use it as an expression of pleasure and comfort. Essentially, it's another way to say, "I'm happy" without smiling. Now let's talk about how to better understand your cat's emotions. The first step is observation. Pay attention not only to facial expressions but also to the position of the ears, tail, and overall body posture. All these elements together create a complete picture of your cat's mood. The second step is context. The same facial expression can mean different things in different situations. For example, a slightly open mouth can be a sign of relaxation if a cat is lying in the sun, or a sign of stress if it's breathing heavily after a fright. The third step is knowing your cat's individual characteristics. Each cat is unique, and over time, you will learn to recognize the subtle nuances of its facial expressions and behavior that indicate its mood. Interestingly, some studies show that people who have lived with cats for a long time do indeed better understand their emotions. This is a kind of emotional intelligence that develops with experience. So if you think you know exactly when your cat is smiling, even if it's not a real smile, you're probably right in assessing its emotional state. Now let's talk about how we can make our cats happier so they smile in their own way more often. Regular play, quality food, a clean litter box, comfortable places to rest and observe, the ability to follow their instincts, for example, hunting toys, all these are components of feline happiness. But most importantly, it's respect for the feline nature. Cats are not small people in fur coats. They have their own needs, their own body language, their own ways of expressing emotions. The better we understand this, the more harmonious our relationship with our furry friends becomes. To sum up, cats don't smile like humans. They simply don't have the necessary facial muscles and evolutionary predisposition for it, but that doesn't mean they don't express joy and pleasure. Purring, slow blinking, raised tail, relaxed posture, kneading, all these are feline equivalents of a smile. Now I want to ask you, what signs of happiness do you notice in your cat? Does it have any special, unique ways to show that it's content? Share your observations in the comments. Let's together create a complete picture of feline happiness. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to not miss new episodes about our furry friends. And if you know someone who also loves cats and wants to understand them better, share this video with them. Next time, we will reveal another fascinating mystery of the feline world that will help you become even closer to your furry friend. Trust me, it will be very interesting. Remember, cats may not smile like we do, but they definitely know how to make us happy. And perhaps that's the most important smile of all.